Hello and welcome to another episode of the Dropped Frames. We've got Sips. Sips, how's it going?
Hello. I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing all right. At least I can't speak
Good.
for the others, but yeah, I'm doing all right. Zeke, you doing all
Good.
right? Everything good?
I'm doing great, but are we calling it the drop frames as if my dad was talking about it? You gonna do the drop frames today?
Yeah.
Is that what you've got on today?
Yeah, yes, I am your dad, Zeke. Let's go with that. Go with that.
I mean, I like that you have the businessman cut. Yeah,
we do. Yeah.
When we were talking about naming the show at the beginning, one of the things I suggested was the dropped frame, like a tavern, like the rusty nail, like the dropped frame, just
It's
a
true.
single frame that you drop. But then we need a lot more beer.
Yeah, it's true. We need a lot more. A lot. We didn't have. Yeah, we weren't smart. That's what we're saying. That's where we're good.
Nope.
Anyways, let's get to know Sips. Let's introduce him. I don't know if we need to. Sips has been on the platform for, I think, longer than a lot of us. Sips,
Yeah.
how'd you get started? Well, first off, where'd the name Sips come from? Let's start there. Favorite question to ask new guests.
It's an old handle. It's from I picked up the name from the album sleeve of a Nirvana album. In Utero. I don't know if you guys are familiar. On In Utero, there's a song called Tourette's, and it's a really yelly, screamy sort of song that I don't know if it actually has lyrics. So when you go to look up the lyrics in the album sleeve, which you used to do when you used to buy like cassette tapes or CDs or whatever, the lyrics to the song are fuck, shit, and piss, but all jumbled up. And piss is jumbled up into sips, and I always thought that was funny. So I used that as my nickname for a long time and never really thought anything about it until people started asking me where it came from, and then I kind of realized, well, it is just piss, but it sips instead. So that's where it comes from.
So we could call you Piss.
Bizarro Sips is probably piss then?
If you want to call me piss, you can. That's fine. But, if not, sips is fine too.
and of course, my chat probably already knows that. I just want to do that old meme. Sips out my ass. You remember that guy? The piss out my ass guy?
I don't remember.
You don't remember that?
No.
It was big for a while. Like it was, yeah, okay.
Do I need to read this up? Hold on. Is this on Know Your Meme? Let's really boomer it up.
South Park episode, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, South Park. Yeah.
It's a South Park episode.
Yep. But I think.
Sorry, I feel like I've lowered the tone of your show like already.
Please, this is more highbrow than normal.
Already in the gutter. I'm sorry.
No, homie.
No, this is.
Listen, I'm glad you're here, baby.
Yeah, this is par for the course here.
We'll wallow
Zeke's
around.
feeling at home right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Finally, a guest that feels like I invited them.
I will say this. I Googled Know Your Meme piss out my ass. One, my search SEO is just ruined now. But also, there's multiple results. There's I'm going to pee in your ass from Know Your Meme. Eggman pisses on the moon. Know Your Meme. Let me pee in your butt on Pinterest. And Sharon knows your meme. So I don't know if this is a big meme.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It didn't work out.
It's a parody of an account called Tourette's Guy, I believe.
Oh, okay. All right.
Right.
Gotcha.
Anyway, we went way off track. So Nirvana's cool, man. I love Nirvana.
Nirvana's great.
I grew up listening to them. I liked all their albums and stuff, and I managed to somehow get an internet nickname or handle from one of their albums, which is kind of good too, I guess.
Yeah.
That's such a good story too. Like I was kind of worried when JP asked that question. You're gonna be like, "Yep, I like sipping cola." You're like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool. No, you have like the whole story behind it. That's great.
There's a bit
anything
of a story
with the dash.
It, yeah.
Is that just because Sips wasn't available, or is there a story behind that?
Yeah, that's a pretty common the name was taken sort of thing, and it used to not be taken that much, but then obviously when you're on YouTube and Twitch and stuff like that, everybody just steals your name, so it's never available now. So I have to like change it up or use like underscores or whatever to try to at least get close to my name. So it's the same on Twitter. I had to use Sips underscore on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
I know that feel.
Yeah.
With
it
the
happens.
underscore I. That has been something that has been you know, kind of a detriment. Like, you know, my discoverability. Like people don't know how to do like just offhand, they don't know how to do an underscore. They have to like look at their hands and go, "Oh, there it is." You know?
Yeah.
or find it in their phone like, where is that underscore? Like in your, you know, your phone typing, your phone keyboard.
Yeah, it's always the underscore and the dash that I get mixed up on. Like one of them's on the second page of symbols and the other one's on the first, and it's too much. It's too much effort, right? Like you don't
your
want
credit, Zeke,
Yeah.
it's so kind of out of the way that you're a pro football player now. So that's kind of cool.
That is true.
Did you see it? I'm also a doctor. Did you see that?
Oh,
nice.
What type of doctor are you?
It's getting better, man. You're a football playing doctor now.
That's
I think
money
I'm
in
an
that.
epidemiologist or something like that.
So wait, you know all about COVID then?
Yeah.
Oh.
Dr. Zeke Emmanuel. I don't know what he was talking on looks like MSNBC.
Okay.
And someone tagged me and people are just yelling at me that I'm lying about stuff, and man, it's a rough life, dude. However, like I said in my post, getting to be an NFL running back and a doctor in one lifetime, that's going to make my mom pretty proud.
Yeah, not many people could say they've accomplished such a feat. So
and
that's
also have a career as an entertainment personality on a streaming service. It's like,
oh yeah, lest we forget my actual job.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah,
very, very well done.
You're killing it. You're doing all the things right, Zeke. Sips, what about like the world of content creation? Was this? I think a question that we've all answered in terms of the three of us, and we get asked a lot. Like, was this your plan from the get-go? Did you just kind of happen into this this world?
Yeah, no.
How did it all happen?
I wasn't like super familiar with this world like before I got started. Like I watched some. I think it must have been Twitch like back in the day because I used to watch. I used to watch a bunch of StarCraft 2 stuff like when it was just before it come out, you know, like when it was in alpha and beta.
Yeah.
And people were having like those like, you know, pre-release tournaments and stuff like that with like Husky and all that.
Yep.
I used to watch a lot of that. I was interested in it, but I didn't take much stock in the whole content creator, like how are these people where they are sort of thing. I just didn't really notice it. I just watched the game, whatever. But then a couple of guys that I played World of Warcraft with, because I used to play a lot of World of Warcraft, you know, during vanilla, TBC, all that. We were in a big guild. It was like an online community guild that we all knew each other through. We played regularly, raided and whatnot. They started a podcast, and then they started doing content creation. It was mostly like WoW videos on YouTube. And then they started playing Minecraft, and they got really big off of Minecraft. This is Lewis and Simon from the Yogscast. And at one point, they were just like, okay, well, we know all these people that we play WoW with who are like fun to play games with, and we want to get them involved and stuff. So they asked a bunch of us to just get involved, and we were like, sure, okay, like, what do you want us to do? And so we were on a live stream for the Jingle Jam, but this is in like 2011, so it was a while back. We played some games and had fun, and then Lewis was like, that was really great. You guys should just create YouTube channels, like, and just, you know, if you want to play video games for a living for the rest of your life, like, let's do it. And I was like, yeah, I mean, that sounds good to me. I'll do it. And so I created a YouTube channel and just started pumping out the Minecraft, and here I am. It's
there you go.
Goes.
That's that's how it was back in the day.
One of the most chill, like, and then I decided, you know what, I'm just going to play games for the rest of my life. And,
it was, it sounded enticing at the time. So I was like, yeah, sure. I would love to do that. But no, at the time I was like, you know, I was like 30. So I was, you know, I had a real job and stuff. I used to work in an office, whatever. So like the whole, you know, getting into content creation was very much like a side thing. My wife didn't understand it at all.
Yeah.
And so as like the months went on and I started actually receiving money from the Yogscaster from YouTube. I was like, hey, look, I'm actually making some money here. And she's like, okay, yeah, but I still don't understand how you're making money. Like, is it legal and stuff? I was like, yeah, no, it is. And then so there was this whole period where I was like, I got to quit my job. If I do this more, I'll make more money. She's like, you're not quitting your job to play video games? I was like, I know. And then it just took a little while to like, convince her around and stuff like that. She wasn't like super dead against it, but I think because we just had our son, like our first kid at the time. Actually, on the day I created my YouTube channel, that was the day my son was born. I'd just come back from the hospital, and I was just getting ready to just sit down and play some open TTD, as you do after your first son is born. And Lewis was like, "You want to be on this live stream?" I was like, "Okay, sure, I guess. I don't really know what I'm doing or whatever." And that's it. The rest is history. So I went full time like after 6 months, I think.
Yeah.
So I continued working a job, cutting it like as a side thing, and then after about 6 months, I went full time with the view of I'm only going to do this for 6 months because there's no way that this is like a long term thing. I felt like it was like another .com bubble or something like that.
Sure.
So I was like, let's do it for 6 months. I'll see if I can make enough money to make it work, and if not, I'll just go get my job back, sort of thing. And now 9 years later, here I am, and I'm just like, I've regressed in lots of ways. Like, I'm just like in my underpants in my garage all day, every day playing video games, but still doing it for a living. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. What?
Oh
no, by all means, go ahead.
Just a quick one. I'm seeing some people in my chat ask, Sips, are you public with how old you are?
Yeah. I'm 26 years old. That's very, very common public knowledge. So
yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, but for Canada, it's a good 26. Like it's
older, yeah. It's air, it's very cold there and stuff too. So like I'm more realistically like 40, but in my mind I'm forever 26.
Forever. Yeah.
I was gonna say 28, 29. So
yeah.
Do you honestly feel that way? Because like I had a conversation with my mom about that. I said, you know what? I'm turning 40 this year, and I don't feel any older than like 28, maybe.
No,
like
in my mind, I still feel like I'm like 15, but my body has actively started betraying me. Like now that I'm 40, my knees don't work very well anymore. My back hurts when I wake up in the morning for no reason. Like I don't understand. Like just things like that. But for the most part, like I still feel pretty young, I guess. It's like young with cobwebs is probably like the best way to describe it, right?
Accurate.
That's great. Yeah. That's a good way to say it. Yeah.
Great way to say it. Yeah. Sure. What type of office job did you work? Out of curiosity.
I was a programmer. I used to. I took school. I took programming in school, and graduated and got a job at a big bank, doing programming on old mainframe systems. And
good
then
money. Cool.
It was all right. Yeah, it was pretty good. It was interesting. Like I didn't have to deal with customers or anything. Like I just squirreled away. Like it was all like punch card derivative stuff. So it was all stuff that was written before I was even born, and I had to just
figure
debug it and add new stuff to it every once in a while or whatever. It was all right. I quit that job, and then I had a job at a law firm doing more like modern stuff, like C#, sort of like Visual Studio kind of stuff, like mostly like web apps and stuff. So, and that was pretty fun too. I liked it, but I was just left alone, just like that nerd in the back room who just like poured over code all day long. So it was pretty nice. But I like really all I wanted to do was sit around and play video games. So, as soon as the opportunity came up, I was there. I was first in line. Sign me up for that one too.
Naturally.
Yeah, it was good.
Did you tell the normie job that like, I'm gonna go play games for a living, or did you just quit and not tell them why?
I just quit. I didn't tell anybody what I was doing or what I was up to. I just was like, I'm just gonna go find another job or whatever. It's not working out. Like, no hard feelings and stuff. And they're like, yeah, okay, cool. And then my boss one day called me in. He's like, hey, come in here and take a look at this. Tell me what you think of this. And I thought, here we go. It's gonna be some garbage. Somebody's broken something somewhere or whatever. I got to try to fix it. So I go in there, and he's like, yeah, watch this. He presses play on a YouTube video, and it's me playing Happy Wheels, like an old video of me playing Happy Wheels on YouTube. And he's like, this guy sounds exactly like you. And I was like, that's uncanny. I don't know what's going on.
Were you not on the camera?
No, like this was back before I used like cams and stuff, so it was just my voice. He called everybody in to his office. He had like a fairly small office, like, everybody come in here and listen, the Chrissy's been on YouTube, look what he's doing and stuff. And I was like, oh, come on. and then everybody knew that I was leaving to do that. But like everybody thought it was pretty neat too, you know. They were like, I can't believe you're gonna be on YouTube and stuff. How do you make money doing that? And I had to explain it all and everything. You like the typical stuff, right? Like,
right.
Like I'm sure you guys have all had to explain that to a million people at various.
For me, it's always the airplane story, right? It's always the person sitting next to you on an airplane when it's like trying to create small talk. It's like, oh, so what do you do for a living? Say, oh, you know, I make videos on the internet. Their mind immediately goes to porn, but not of that kind. And they're like, oh, well, what else do you mean if you make videos on the internet and it's not porn? It's like, oh, I play video games. Yeah, that whole conversation. I think we've all had a billion.
You got to explain ad revenue to them and everything, and it's just So
anyone can answer this, but if you have one, Sips, you go ahead. Do you have a fallback thing you say to? Like basically it's a lie, so you don't have to explain it. Like I don't want to explain what I do, so I say occupation. Like I'll tell people like. Oh, I'm an accountant at a small law firm.
I know. I don't lie that much.
No one gives a fuck.
No one
wants to know more about that.
I would love to. Maybe I should actually. I'm a jumbo jet pilot or whatever. But like, no, like I usually just say, "Oh, I'm in media production." They're like, "Oh, what kind of stuff?" That just boring corporate videos. You know, like just like that kind of stuff. And usually that's a boring enough answer for them to be like, okay. They don't want to like pursue it any further sort of thing. So that's my backup one. But
okay.
But now you mentioned
unless you get an accountant or a jumbo jet pilot.
I'm going to spice it up. Yeah, I'm going to spice it up. I'm going to come up with all sorts of crazy. I'm a retired F1 race car driver. Just really dig holes for myself would be pretty good.
Yeah.
Just go through your
retired F1 driver. And now, on the side wrestles tigers when I'm feeling it.
My Netflix documentary is coming out soon. You should look for it. That type of stuff. I don't think anyone would call you on your bullshit on a plane, right? Like no one's going to just straight up say like, you're fucking lying to me. Why are you just making this shit up? They're going to go with it.
Depends. Some people are really sassy. Like you could, you might be surprised actually. And then it depending on how long the flight is too, I suppose you would. Like if it was an hour flight, I would bust out. Yeah, I'm just like a pro wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who cares? But if it was like a 9-hour flight, no way. But then I would just, I'd give them the really boring answer and then pretend I was sleeping for the rest of the flight.
Yeah.
Just to avoid any awkwardness and stuff.
No, that's a perfect way to do it. That or just get a bunch of drinks and then no one will also talk to you. That's another way to do it. And you'll feel great on the flight. Yeah. You'll just pass out eventually. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 2 ways of doing that.
I miss that. It's been so long with COVID, right? When was the last time you passed out on a plane? Like, geez.
Yeah, it's been a while.
A long time.
We gotta go get a marriage license here in the next month, so I'll be flying for the first time in 14 months or something like that.
Ooh.
That'll be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Oh yes, you and your betrothed.
Excellent. Yeah, I what the fuck is that word?
That is weird. That is amazing.
I loved it, dude. I thought it was great.
It's such an awesome term, isn't it? It's such an amazing way to describe people who are about to get married, right? You and your betrothed.
Yeah, it's a weird word.
I feel like you should be in like lacy goth outfits with like a silver goblet. Me and my betrothed.
We should get the marriage license that way. This will be the second one we've gotten because we had to cancel the wedding the first.
Get like a Joffrey tiara and like the same haircut and stuff too. Wear the leathers. Oh man.
We should.
Sweet.
That's a good plan. Yeah, we might do that. We got a month to make it happen, so might be the path.
Yeah, that's.
One of the other questions we always ask our guests is like the make it moment when you realize that like this was gonna be the rest of the foreseeable future. Maybe not the rest of your life, but do you have a like very specific moment on when you were just like, oh shit, like this is. I just made a video and made fart noises for an hour, and that's making bank right now. Like, did you have that type of moment?
It was all really gradual. There wasn't like a real standout moment, but I had like I had this plan that, like I mentioned before, where it was like, I'm going to try it out for 6 months. I got to the point basically where I was kind of matching like money wise what I was making at my job. And my wife was like, okay, like I now see that like this is something that you could do instead of working, but she was still a little bit like apprehensive because she wasn't sure how like stable it was. But then, so we were just like, let's try it for 6 months, see if it works, sort of thing. And then the growth was fairly steady and kept being steady. So it was just like, it just made sense at the time, right? Like it just got to the point where it's like, if I spend more time doing this, I'll just earn more on this side doing this. And it's actually something I like to do and would prefer to do, sort of thing. So
yeah,
I guess that was like kind of the pivotal point or whatever, but there was like lead up to it,
Sure. Makes sense.
Yeah.
One of the other questions that I'm interested, cause you've been in the business, the industry for so long, is what's your like go-to ride the wave type mentality? Do you have something when like the dip occurs that you either go to as a content creator or go to as a person to just like relax and chill? Or you seem pretty even keel in the short time that I've known you. Or are you just always just like, it'll go back up.
Yeah,
It'll work itself out.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I there's nothing really that like I go to. Like I'm kind of like habitual in how I game anyway. So like there's a lot of stuff that I'll just come back and revisit, and maybe sometimes that helps and maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Like certainly when I was obsessed with Overwatch for like a year, and then I stopped playing for like a year, and then I started playing again for like 3 months. That was not good. But you know what I mean? It's like, you just got to play what you feel like playing, right? Like that's how I've always sort of approached it. Like I've always just wanted to just play what I felt like playing, because this was sold to me as you can just play games for the rest of your life. So if I'm playing games for the rest of my life, I got to play the games I want to play, right? I just act like I normally would, sort of thing.
Yeah.
In terms of what games I play. And if people like it, great. And people seem to like it for the most part, except for Overwatch, like it's Overwatch.
Is Overwatch your dark period?
Oh my god, it was so bad. I tried. I thought that if I played a lot of it, I'd get good at it, and I never got good at it. It was so bad. Oh my god, I was obsessed. It was a real problem for a while, but
Oh, it's like me and PUBG.
One of those moments when
It's
you
like
like when you talk to a dude who's been playing guitar his whole life only to be like above average, and you're just like, okay, there's some nature that has to go on, versus nurture. You have to. There's something biological that you have to have, physiological that you have to have.
Yeah, I think like and you guys probably like can relate to this as well. There's definitely things that you learn over time that people watch you for, right? Like whether that's like a genre of game or like, the kind of stuff that you do in that game or whatever. So I guess from time to time, I'll tend to sort of think like, I want to play this, but I know that nobody really wants to watch me play that. So I should try to think of something that I know people will enjoy more, sort of thing. But not always, you know what I mean? Like sometimes I'll think that, and it's like, probably better for me mental health wise to play games like that as well, because like when I played a lot of Overwatch, I got angry like every single day.
You
like,
don't say.
Explosively angry. Yeah,
I've never had that happen before. That's not a similar story whatsoever. I don't know why you would get angry over that game, Sid.
No, it's such a perfectly balanced game. There's nothing really to get angry at, but there I was getting angry all the same. And you know what I mean? It's just like at times I sort of woke up in the morning and I thought, am I even enjoying this? Like, why am I putting myself through this? Like, it just, at times it felt really like a job, sort of thing, but I was just obsessed with playing it for some reason. I don't know why.
For me, it was the talk from Aaron of like, do you enjoy playing that game? You just sound so angry all the time. And I was like, shit, I should probably stop playing this game.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So I'll always go back to things like RimWorld or like Minecraft, just stuff where I can ramble a lot and build things. I like just building stuff. Like I grew up playing city builder games, like, SimCity, all the like the Impression city builder games like Pharaoh, Zeus, all that kind of stuff. So those are like the games that I always gravitate back towards, and I play. And I think my audience prefers me playing those kind of games rather than, you know, some really sweaty competitive shooter that I'm not even really good at. So yeah, like at the back of my mind, there's thoughts like that, but like I not like super active. I think I always just play what I feel like playing, and usually what I feel like playing is kind of the stuff people want to watch me play anyway. So it just works out.
Sure, that makes a lot of sense. Zeke, any specific questions here for Sips before we move on with the rest of the show? Jump into some news.
Yeah, I'm reading chat and stuff, so I don't know what's all hearsay and rumors and stuff. But have you moved around a lot in your life? Like
No.
moved locations? Like,
Yeah, I grew up in Canada and I live in the UK now, but that's it. Like I haven't moved more than that. But I've lived in the
okay.
UK for like 18 years, so it's
oh really? Oh wow. Okay.
yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, like
Where in the UK?
in the next 4 years or so, I've lived here as long as I ever lived in Canada, which I was born in, grew up in, sort of. So I live in Jersey. It's a small island between mainland England and France. It's actually closer to France.
It's funny you say. I wanted you to.
Yeah.
I was hoping that you'd say that because I saw that in the chat because one of my right hand mods, like the mods have been with me the longest, lives in Jersey too.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah. So I'm familiar with it actually. Closer to
there
France
you
than it
go.
is to England. You know, tiny island.
Is that island
Yeah.
small enough, Sips, where you would know this moderator?
Do
Do you see this moderator
no.
pick his carrots?
No,
The farming
maybe.
life on Jersey?
Man,
The simple
if
life?
that's you, good job out there. I see you every day.
Yeah.
No. There's like 100,000 people here, so no. It's like it's small, but you know, it's big enough to not know everybody, sort of thing, you know.
Yeah. Makes
And
sense.
especially in the last year, I haven't really left my house much. So
Sure.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Accurate. Yeah. Co, any final questions here? Grill and Sips in the start of the show?
How's Terry doing?
oh, he's doing great. Everybody thinks he's dead. He's not dead. Okay.
Wait, hold on. Explain who
just-
Terry
okay. is
that people who don't know.
Terry's my pet tortoise.
Okay.
And I used to have a webcam hooked up so you could see him. And the cord wasn't long enough, so it was like a tripping hazard. So I unplug it because my kids come in here and whatever from time to time. I've got a longer cord that I'm too lazy to install. So there's been no Terry cam. And because there's been no Terry cam, everybody's like, he's dead. He's not dead. Okay. He's alive. He's fine. I can hear him right now. He's burrowing. He's getting ready. He's going to bed. You know, it's bedtime.
Yeah.
So is this like the next time we see him on stream? It's like, no, just ignore the wires. That's a kind of lettuce. It's what? No.
yeah. He's made out of like garbage and stuff because I'm too ashamed that he's passed away. No, he's fine. He's gonna outlive all of us. We're gonna have to will him,
right?
and my kids are gonna have to will him to their kids. Like he can live well into his hundreds, like if providing he's healthy, obviously.
Yeah. How old is Terry right now? How long have you had him?
He's 3, so he's got a long ways.
Holy
he's got a long
shit!
ways
Yeah,
to go. He's getting
still a
big
sprout.
though, man.
Yeah.
We got him. He was about this big, and I'm not even joking. He's like heavy to pick up now.
What
And
type of tortoise is he?
He's a Mediterranean spur-thighed tortoise.
Ah.
If that means anything to you.
It means everything. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah, he just loves to lay in the sun all day long. That's all he wants to do, and eat.
My grandfather had a
the
tortoise,
life.
so yeah. They would all he would burrow in the backyard, and they would, like you said, he just wouldn't appear for like a month or so, and then he would randomly show up outside because he'd come out.
They're surprisingly fun pets. Like he's got a personality. Like you get him out, he'll chase people around and stuff. Most other animals don't understand what he is, so they're scared of him. So
Sure.
he's not like easy prey or anything like that. Most birds won't try to pick him up because they don't know what he is either. So it works out pretty good. Like I think that's why they survive so long. They're just so weird.
Yeah.
Nobody can figure them out. So
Slow moving, don't need a lot.
Yeah.
Big as
Yeah,
big as hell.
that's
I
it.
got a little box turtle, man. They're great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oxy
Just
Brown.
eats weeds. Nice.
Boxy
Nice.
Brown.
Nice.
I
I like that.
Well done. 10 out of 10.
I have 42 spiders and 12 geckos or whatever the fuck, and a few scorpions and stuff. So yeah, I know what
Nice.
it's like to have animals in the house.
42
I mean-
spiders.
Dude,
We say
those
they're
geckos
ours.
are adorable. Those geckos are so cute. Oh my lord, dude.
Yeah. No, it's
42,
no. My
damn.
girlfriend collects. She got obsessed this past year with housing and caring for creepy crawlies.
Right. Spiders.
Oh,
like,
four
what
snakes
kind of
too, by the
spiders?
way.
Like,
Oh, all kinds.
So you-
Mostly tarantulas.
right.
But there's a few. She's got a black widow. She's got a few like non-tarantula, like cool looking spiders and whatnot.
Right. Do you ever aren't you ever scared that one morning you'll go downstairs and like one of the cages just like burst and all of a sudden, hang on, there's 42 spiders loose in my house?
No.
Like, no, That
Not
would
really.
keep me up at night.
Tarantulas are they are deathly afraid of anything mostly,
right.
and also
Okay.
they are super fragile. Like you've got to really care for them because like if the temperature isn't exactly right or if the you drop them from too high, they just kind of explode. They're really fragile for what they are.
I didn't know that.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I know their hard counter now. Good. Thank you very much.
And also as my girlfriend is key to point out, there are no tarantulas that are deadly to humans. Like a deadly tarantula bite, there's no such thing.
Man,
Like, of
okay,
course, if you leave it and it gets infected, obviously, but like no tarantula bite will kill you like right away or at all.
Oh,
My entire education on spiders was the movie Arachnophobia, which I watched as a kid, and I've been scared of spiders ever since. So, I guess I believe you, but I'm still scared of them, and I feel like they will kill me if,
Yeah.
if they're loose in my house. Man,
Honestly,
I don't mind
it's
small spiders. It's the big ones, the ones with like hairy legs and blah.
But when you go through like a PetSmarter or any like zoo exhibit or pet store, like, and you see like the containers with like the spiders, and do you stop or do you avoid them completely?
It's more like a morbid sort of curiosity, right? Like if I see
Sure,
them,
yeah,
I'm like, oh, what are those? But like, I'm not like, I don't stop to sort of say like, oh, that's cute. Look at those mandibles and like I'm not.
Yeah.
If I owned one, I'd feel different though. Like
it's exactly what it is. It's like a morbid curiosity, but dialed down like the creepy feeling that you get.
Yeah.
It's more like, oh my god, they look so gnarly, dude. They're fucking metal. Look at them. It's like these and he's eating the thing, and it's pretty cool when you get a.
What kind of stuff do you have to feed spiders? Like what would they eat? Just like other little bugs, crickets. And stuff
yeah,
like that?
Yeah. You go to pet stores and they at the pet stores they call them, or reptile stores or whatever, they call them feeders. Basically crickets, hookworms, like different varying sizes depending on how big the animal you have is, and that kind of stuff. So we make regular trips to the pet store to get bugs to feed them, cockroaches, that kind of stuff.
And to your snakes, like little frozen mice and stuff like that, which you can also get in like backpacks at the pet store. And that's
if you go to a decent pet store, decent. I know this sounds inhumane, but snakes got to eat. You get like fresh kill. Like they will like bring them out. They won't kill them in front of you, but they'll bring them out like they're still like warm and stuff.
Okay, but they're dead.
Yeah.
Like you, and I guess it would be, you would never just like put like a live like mouse in the cage with your snakes, even though they would probably like that, right? But it's kind of
they don't know the difference really.
Okay, so
they don't really know. It's by the time we get them home from the pet store, it's when we go get those, it's time to feed them. So when we get them home, they're still warm and stuff, and we just take little tongs and we wiggle it, and that's all they do. They just go and they wrap it up. It's actually really cool.
So we went from spiders to live feeding to shaking dead animals in front of others. By the way, quick content warning.
Yeah,
true.
That was at the beginning.
Yeah, that goes at the front of that usually. Yeah, we skipped that step, unfortunately.
I didn't expect to do a deep dive into that shit. Sorry, guys.
No, I mean it's.
I thought it was great.
I was buying some stuff for Terry at the pet store one time, and like really basic stuff. Like he likes cuttlefish. Like the it's just like the dry like bone. It helps sharpen his beak or whatever. So I was just buying some really basic stuff for him, And some guy was in the line behind me, and he's like, "Hey, are you Sips?" I was like, "Oh, hey, yeah, what's up? How you doing?" Like, this happens every once in a while, like over here. And he's like, "Oh, I'm just buying some stuff for my snake." And I was like, "Oh, nice. Like, what do you feed him?" He's like, "This." He just pulls out this bag. It's like full of dead mice. I was like, "All right, well, I got to get home and feed Terry. See you later."
Oh, so you have met my mod. Okay, cool.
It might be. You never know, actually.
You never know.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That was the first time I had ever been exposed to the world of feeding snakes. Like, I never even considered that they had to eat before, but the pet store has a freezer full of dead rodents for them.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
That's. I mean, the reason why you can have so many spiders and lizards and snakes and stuff is because they don't eat. They're not like dogs or cats. They don't need to eat every day. They eat like once a week, sometimes once in months. Like, we have pythons that don't eat, like, that just stay dormant for like 3 months and don't eat a thing.
Oh wow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, they're interesting. Like, again, I'm petrified of them, but they're kind of cool. Like, if they're in a zoo or whatever, like, I'll look at them for sure. But
yeah,
like, I'm always interested, like, how people keep this stuff like in their house, because it's just the workarounds, right? Because none of this stuff is designed to really be kept like this. But
right.
they can live like long, happy-ish lives, right? Like under like the proper care and stuff. It's pretty good. Like Terry. Who knows what would happen to Terry if he was out in the wild, right? He's safe in here. He gets to listen to me play video games all day and stuff. I feel like he's got a pretty good life.
Yeah.
I hope.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Poor Terry. It's like torture for him. He hates video games.
Ah, shit. He's played Valheim again. I guess I'm just going to burrow today. Gets real excited for Overwatch, though. Loves the Overwatch.
Yeah,
it's weird.
He's waiting for the next wave. Yeah.
Yeah. That's weird.
Can't wait for OW2, man. He's on the forums all the time. He's so excited.
He's hyped. Yeah, he won't even hibernate. He's so excited. Like, he's just he's at the edge of his cage constantly. Can't wait.
Jesus. All right. Well, with all that, let's move into some news. I think I'll use this as a jumping off point to jump over to BlizzCon with the Overwatch 2 comment.
BlizzConline.
Yeah. BlizzConline.
That's the official name.
It is. No,
it
is.
Are you refusing to say that, JP, because you hate it so much?
No, I don't. It's BlizzCon was weird, man. I tweeted that out, and like, it was even weirder to see like Overwatch team owners tweet at me and say like, "No, it wasn't weird. You're just watching the opening ceremony." It's like, dude, you're invested in Overwatch. Of course you're gonna say this shit. Stop tweeting me. It's even weirder.
It was.
Since you're out there like defending
weird.
shit. Yeah, me and Sips actually watched it together live. Did or Zeke, did you guys catch any of the news bits? Or I know you guys didn't watch it live, but any of the...
I know about Diablo 2 Remaster because I've been asked about 70,000 times if I'm going to play it. And that's about it.
Okay. All right.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. The one thing I caught from the BlizzCon that I really, really enjoyed was the introduction of the rogue class in Diablo Immortal or whatever.
Diablo 4, yeah.
Yeah.
Diablo something or other.
That fucking video was bonkers good. Really, really good. The tone of it, the way they shot it, the acting. Man, that's how you introduce a character. I barely care about Diablo at all, and that was just like, wow. Makes me want to like check it out.
They did say they wanted to go back to the sort of gory, sort of like like gothic themed everything and stuff, and I feel like that's definitely there, right?
Yeah, with the ears and all that stuff. Like it was definitely a cool. It's what you expect from Blizzard, right? Like this is the type of stuff that you expect to see. It's interesting because I think the whole thing around BlizzCon. You can kind of see the games that, like, at least I can kind of see the games that Activision has more of their hand in, and games where it's still kind of like the Blizzard mantra remains. And I think Diablo might be that last bastion where the Blizzard mantra remains. Specifically, maybe even the Diablo 2, what is it, Resurrected, I think is the remake there, or the remaster.
Right.
But yeah, for everything else, like... the whole. I've been to almost every BlizzCon except for one, and the opening ceremony is like, for me, it's that moment, that holy grail moment of like being a gamer and being around like-minded people and like getting ready to celebrate something that you're super into and super excited about. And like this opening ceremony, it was just weird, like not having an audience there to like react to the guy when he's like saying "for the horde" and he just says it, and it just like, the fuck are you doing, man? No one's there. No one's gonna repeat that line to you. It just comes off like really odd and really not welcomed in a weird way. And really like CEO-y to come out and just be like, "for the horde, for the alliance," and then he goes into like the World of Warcraft thing, and they start saying the covenants, which just came out in Shadowlands, and they're like, naming the covenants and asking people to cheer for that in the chat. And it's like, come on, like, what are you doing? Like this whole thing just feels weird to me. Not even mentioning that the first part of the opening ceremony was a like montage of reminding you that Blizzard made good games back in the day. For like 10 or 15 minutes, it was just a montage of like developers talking about, or even fans talking about the like, the amazing gamer moments of like, oh yeah, I remember when we killed Diablo on hardcore, and Kriparian was there saying like, oh yeah, we killed Diablo 3 hardcore on the hardest setting. It was so incredible. Or like, oh, we killed this one boss in World of Warcraft and like we were the world first, and like that type of stuff, or whatever, Warcraft 3, StarCraft, whichever one you want to throw in there. They had those type of moments. And then it's like, now on with the rest of the presentation. Here's Blackthorn, the Lost Vikings, and something else that you can play on the Blizzard Arcade Live right now, later today. And it's just like, it was just like a giant disconnect for me, right? Like, I don't know what I expected there, but it was weird for me. Yeah.
I think like Diablo 4, like the rogue stuff seemed really cool, but I mean, again, with a lot of this stuff, the lead up to Diablo 3 was the same, right? There was lots, there years and years and years it took them to finally release it, and there was lots of like, class trailers and stuff like that. So it's much of the same. Like Diablo 4 has already been announced, so it's exciting enough, I guess, but not super exciting. And then it's just a bunch of old games coming back. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. They're not working on enough new stuff. There wasn't even a mention of Overwatch 2 during the opening ceremony. It was just kind of like, okay, opening ceremony's done. Go watch the Overwatch 2 stream now, which I didn't do.
They didn't really show much. I mean,
I felt the same.
They showed some, but not much of Overwatch 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was a weird thing.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Yeah. I'm I'm the same. I've been to lots of BlizzCons. I've been around for like the big hype moments, like when they revealed Overwatch for the first time.
It was incredible.
Like everybody went nuts when they announced WoW expansions and stuff, but there just wasn't really much to announce this year, and they've just had a rough couple of years too, haven't they, Blizzard? Like people have lost a lot of faith in them and have been disappointed by them for the first time, which has felt bad. This is a company that had like a pretty pristine record for a long, long time.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just, it's like a bit of a sour taste for me, really. Like everything that they're doing right now. I don't know. It'll take a lot to win me back. It feels like, I hate to say it.
I don't know. Like, I think maybe has asked me that very question. Like what will it take Blizzard doing to like get you back in their good graces? And like, I don't know what that answer is. They're not the same company. So I don't know if they ever can, right? Like they're not a Mike Morhaime company anymore, right? They're an Activision owned company. They're in the business of selling horses for Diablo 4. Yeah. They spent a larger amount than I would think needed on the fact that like horses will be in Diablo 4 and that you can get different looking horses, and there's probably going to be ways to buy horses and horse armor, and like it's just weird to hear. This for me, the Diablo 2 Resurrected stuff was probably the most exciting thing that they showed there, because that lighting engine looks really good. And when you heard at least in the panel that they had, I don't know how to say this or I don't know how to say this nicely, but it felt like those devs hadn't sold their souls yet. Like they seem to actually really be into what they were making, and it they talked about how they were digging up old files and like finding a lot of the key art for the game back in the day, and how that is being put into creating what was a not 3D game into a 3D game with Diablo 2 Resurrected, where it was originally sprites. And so that stuff is cool, and they have a great track record as well. With
passion, man.
Do what?
Passion.
Yeah, exactly.
When devs still have passion, it's not just a
up.
job. It's like something they really want to get out there.
Right. And I think they had that with the Tony Hawk stuff that they remastered as well, because it's the same team that they put out Tony Hawk Remastered 1 and 2 this past year. So this is actually that panel. It just auto-played. It was interesting, too, that a lot of the panels, at least the ones that I saw, apart from maybe the behind-the-scenes for Overwatch 2, they were led by community members. They weren't led by, like, a Day 9 or something like that. They were led by streamers that play that game primarily on Twitch or wherever they stream, YouTube, wherever. And so that was kind of cool to see. That was a little bit different. I think in some ways, like, that's a little bit reminiscent of kind of the Blizzard of yesteryear, being so community focused and so community driven. So that was a good thing that they did, a nice nod to incorporate the community into all of that stuff. But yeah, these three guys are the devs here, and the top left is the content creator. And so I highly recommend watching this video if you have any interest in Diablo 2 Resurrected. Sorry, I keep stumbling on the name. Because it was awesome. These guys seem super into it, and like Ko said, passion's the best word to kind of describe everything that they brought into that panel, for sure. It was weird though. I don't know what else to say about BlizzCon.
It was weird. The lack of audience was noticeable as well. Like the sort of, like you said, any alliance or horde people here, that only works when you have thousands of people in an audience that are really excited to be there, right? It just doesn't work online. I don't know why they tried to do it, but I guess maybe they felt like it's that fan service that they've always done, sort of thing. So they felt like they had to or whatever. But
yeah,
I don't know.
It also
was kind of weird.
It also hit me that, and I didn't realize this till after the fact, and for some reason, I think I always just relate like BlizzCon occurring, because I would always make a trip out there to Southern California to go to Anaheim with like November, and like the holiday season is coming up. So like, usually a bunch of games are coming out, or that kind of feeling of excitement is there around that time of year. And the fact they did this in February, where like no big games, like no AAA huge games are really coming out anytime soon, I think that kind of sucked a lot of the air out of what they were showing as well. And I didn't realize that till after the fact, but I guess they have to do a BlizzCon, right? Like you have to show this type of stuff to the fan base, because that's what you expected. So, or that's what is expected of them at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And then the biggest thing I missed is, in an odd way, that Hilton bar. The Hilton bar there in Anaheim.
Just that wall of sound that.
Yeah. Just the large crowd murmuring at 2 a.m. Everyone's pretty drunk. People are just rambunctious.
Lots of loud techno playing.
Yeah, they put that fucking DJ in there in the past 3 or 4 years. Ruined everything.
Yeah.
No, really messed everything up. But yeah, that is also part of the BlizzCon experience for sure. So. Yeah, it was also just a bigger reminder of COVID at the end of the day, that COVID exists. The whole
I think
situation.
A lot of these things have been, they need to do them, like to release, information on these games that people are looking forward to and stuff. But I can't wait for this stuff to just go back to being live, right? Instead, like it's a lot more exciting, and I don't know. It just feels, I don't know what the word is, but it's sometimes it's just kind of hard to watch when it's all online. I don't know. It's like, I think.
I mean, a lot of the big point of that, like, is that those entire things are designed to be done in front of an audience. Like a lot of the stuff is just designed so the audience is part of the event. So whenever they do these events and they don't kind of intrinsically from the ground up account for that, it just becomes kind of weird. Because they're not doing quite enough to reformat what they need to make it like just as good as it would be if an audience was there.
Right. Yeah.
As somebody just said in chat, and I like that. There's a disconnected feeling. It feels
Totally.
like you're not watching the whole show. There's like something missing.
Yeah.
I watched the video of the Skyrim reveal at wherever it was, like E3 or whatever.
Yeah.
And when they showed the trailer and everything with the music and stuff, and man, people were going insane. Like I love watching it just for the reaction. Like just people are just losing their minds. Like I miss all that. Like. But I'm not sure that this BlizzCon would have gotten those reactions either had it been live. But
I don't know if they would have as well. I think in some way like the other side of the coin exists as well with the developers. Like you always hear the BlizzCon or the Blizzard devs when they go to a thing like BlizzCon, like that's why they do the job, right? Like they enjoy the fans getting into it. They enjoy the excitement and the energy, and that kind of like carries them on to, finishing the game or working on the game more. So I really wonder like what the company morale is at right now within Blizzard, with the lack of BlizzCon there. And the jackasses like us saying like, it was weird. That was a weird BlizzCon. I wonder if that just like really fucks with the. I would think it would have to.
I don't know. I mean, it's a bit of criticism, and I think it's not like it's not personal. It's just like I know people at Blizzard. I'm friends with people who work at Blizzard and stuff, and like I don't think they'd be offended. It's just it is what it is sometimes, right? Like you're not always going to get it right, sort of thing. But like the standard's so high for Blizzard, they always did get it right up until very recently. So I guess it's just new grounds for them. New
territory.
Really.
Yeah. There was one bit that I thought was, I don't know if it was the highlight, but it was definitely a moment worth checking out if you're at all a Blizzard fan. In the Diablo Immortal panel, which they had a streamer there with the with two devs on it. I forget which devs they were, but one of them was the guy, like everyone, you all have phones, right? Like it was that guy that said that comment. And it was towards the end of the panel or maybe 3/4 of the way through. And the content creator flat out asked them like, how do you think you handled that? Like, what do you think about what happened at that event when you said, everyone has phones? And he flat out like, granted, maybe it's too late. This was 2 years ago, however long it was, but he flat out like talked about it, answered it, said it was wrong, talked about where he was coming from, and said like, I hope you don't judge the game on like my, terrible wording of it. And like that one very distilled moment felt like Blizzard to me. Like they were owning up to the fact that like it was not a good moment for that entire BlizzCon. And like knowing how big Activision Blizzard is, that had to have gone through so many PR groups and so many different people that were like, no, we can't own up to the fact that we fucked up, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, we need to do this to like save some face. Like the community will respond well to it. And it was cool to see that for sure. Yeah. Even if it was 2 years after the fact, like to just own up to that in that very moment was nice at the end of the day. So yeah, that game's also just going to make a shit ton of money. So regardless of if he said it or not, that's going to carry the next, Overwatch 3, Diablo 5, World of Warcraft, whatever, that will make them all those games possible. So he didn't need to say that at all is ultimately what I'm trying to get at there. But yeah, that was BlizzCon.
or maybe he had to say that or get fired.
Maybe the company put him out there like, hey, you got to put your neck out there again.
Well, about that thing you really screwed us on a couple years ago. They're still talking about it, so
that's true. Yeah. I had not considered that alternative.
Yeah,
might have worked. Might have been why.
But regardless, end of story. Yeah. Company or individual, it's good they owned up to it. Like that, it's much better to do that instead of just try to like sweep it under the rug. Which unfortunately we're seeing more and more these days.
Right. Yeah. Just moving on as if nothing happened. So yeah. That was BlizzCon. Some other news. There was actually a decent amount of news this past week. Zeke will bring you into the fold here in the news world. Do you see all the Bloodlines 2 stuff that came up? Because
yeah, but I mean, this is just confirmation of shit we're suspicious of. Some of it we knew, I'm sure, like all that kind of stuff. But it was just like officially like, yeah, it's sucks. It sucks, but you know, I don't want a bad game. I want it to be a good game, and I want the Bloodline. The first Bloodlines was so surprisingly good, and had a surprisingly like star-studded voice acting cast and all that shit. So I'm hoping this game is going to be the same, but I don't now. It's like we don't know. They said maybe 2021, but or 2022, but
yeah.
I don't know. It's probably going to be at least a couple more years before we see anything else.
Yeah,
like positive. Like we're taking steps. We got people on this now, like or whatever. It sucks.
Yeah. To get into the post that they made, they said we have made the hard decision that Hard Suit Labs will no longer be leading the development of Bloodlines 2, which also means that we will not be releasing in 2021 as previously planned. Since we cannot at this time communicate a new release date, we've also decided to stop accepting pre-orders for the time being. The game is very important to us and has been an ambitious project from the very start. In order to meet our goals for it, we've come to the conclusion that a change is needed, and as a result, more development time is required. We'd like to take this opportunity to honor Hard Suit Labs for their efforts and thank them for their hard work on the project. The studio has done a tremendous job in laying the foundations for the game, and we hope that you, the community, will also appreciate their contribution to Bloodlines 2. We're thankful for the continuous support throughout the game's development. We understand how important that it is to you, and we'd love to share more with you. As soon as we can, we'll talk about what the future development team of Bloodlines 2 will look like. So at this point, like, I guess they don't have a dev team, like, or they're,
right.
Yeah, like they're searching for one. Like, I don't.
Well, the other,
yeah.
The hopeful thing is that maybe they started looking before they axed Hardsuit. Maybe we're lucky enough to where there is one kind of, you know, there that they're working to, or at least working with, or at least talking to.
Yeah.
But of course, we're gonna have no clue for a long time. I mean, the thing that's crazy about this is like this game was already supposed to be out. It got pushed back twice, so obviously, at least it was close to being done, like somehow, right? And then for them to axe it this late in the production cycle, to fire the dev team, especially after the dev team, you know, fired Brian Mitsoda and like the creative lead was removed, and like all this crazy stuff happened. That brings up all sorts of new questions. Like, was it Hard Suit Labs doing that, and that's why they were removed, or was that, you know, these guys stepping in and trying to right the ship and they just couldn't do it in time? Like, there's so many freaking questions about this.
I can only think, or not can only, but like it makes me think of what the Cyberpunk, like when it came out on consoles and stuff, like they allowed that to happen. Maybe something like that happens. Like, we can't allow this to be released to the public. You saw what happened with Cyberpunk. This is garbage. What we would be forcing down their throat, it's just terrible. So we got to scrap the whole thing and get some new people in here.
Yeah, that very well may be what happened. Somebody just finally going, like putting, like I actually tweeted this the day where it came out, like somebody putting their foot down and just being like, we're not going to release this. You saw what happened to CDPR. They've basically ruined themselves in many ways. This will ruin us. And Paradox, to be fair, is a pretty good company overall. Like, they're known for releasing like pretty quality products, at least not like complete failures of, you know, they don't fail their consumers completely. At least they've had their bumps and stuff, but Paradox is relatively respected, I'd say. Even though they've had their issues, they're relatively respected. And they to see them do this, honestly, in some ways kind of even raises a little bit like opinions, I think, in a lot of ways, because clearly this is a tough decision. Like, this will most likely lose them money. I mean, you know, they could have pushed it out the door and just kind of pulled a CDPR, essentially. God, it hurts to say that. But on that note, it's good. It's good that they were like, you know what? No, we're not going to do this. Like, end of story. We're not doing it. We're just not doing it. Yeah, great. I know Paradox is a DLC machine, but still like they don't release complete garbage things.
No, but the games that they've done very well and that have had a lot of DLC for them are amazing. Like I don't mind spending money on DLC if it's going to give me hundreds of extra hours in a game I already love. Like it makes sense to me. And like come back to what you were saying about Paradox, I think the only two things that come to mind in terms of like bumps that they've had is Imperator Rome, which wasn't amazingly well received or complete. And Stellaris, when it first came out, I think people were a little bit disappointed, but it's great now. It's had some DLC and it's much better. So they've actually got a pretty good record, I think, Paradox.
Right.
Well, for me, anyway. I played a lot of their games.
Yeah. Yeah, do you think Bloodlines 2 ever comes out? Like, do you think, is this a nail in the coffin, or do you think it's still one day, 2022, 2023?
I think at this point, with as much as they've done with it, like they'd be crazy not to get something out. I don't think they're going to like retcon the entire thing that was made. I mean, hell, even some of the gameplay stuff, sure, it had issues, no question, but I mean, looked like it could be pretty fun. I mean, there was some good stuff in there. So I really hope they find a dev team, hopefully like a reputable one, that can pick up and run with it. But like we were talking about yesterday on my stream, like a lot of people don't realize that even if the game's close to done, like a new dev team is going to have to spend months, maybe years, going into that code, learning how Hardsuit Labs did everything, figuring out what they need to do to fix the things, then let alone start doing their own stuff on top of it that actually works without introducing, like,
yeah.
The further along a project is to complete, a lot of times the more difficult it can be for someone to just pick up and run with it. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they approach this, for sure.
Right. Yeah. Not to mention, as soon as they announce the team that's working on it now, there's immediate assumptions, there's immediate pressure to that team, from like a social sentiment and a business sentiment. Like it's a tough spot to whoever goes into that role. So good luck to them before, and good luck to them whenever that gets announced as well. Definitely a rough time for Bloodlines 2 fans, though. I remember Zeke in our Game of the Year show was like, "Yeah, I'm most excited for Bloodlines 2," and then Coh's next words were, "Yeah, do you know what's going on with Bloodlines 2?"
Yep. Oh no.
So, yeah.
Yep.
It's been rough, but that's where we're at with that. Go ahead.
Similar vein, I mean, while we're talking about this kind of thing, there was a big kind of public thing about Dying Light 2. Techland is apparently like atrophying talent. The management is having some serious issues. There's problems with the project. Like, things are not looking super good for Dying Light 2 either, which is super unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that again had some cool looking stuff involved in it. And Dying Light was such a great game. Dying Light was awesome. Like one of the fastest paced zombie like games anytime. And it was so much fun. And now here we are, like just a project like falling apart at the foundation. So really, really unfortunate.
Yeah. Did you happen to see the Dying Light Viking DLC that they announced?
I heard about it. I don't know if I really. I'm not really even sure what to think of it.
Yeah, to me, this looks like, hey, we need some more money for the game. Because like, I just don't understand. I don't understand why. Like,
what is it exactly?
It's Viking DLC for the base game of Dying Light. It's weird that it exists. I don't know if this is from like a business point of view, if it's like, hey, Assassin's Creed Valhalla sold really well and like Valheim is doing really well, so like let's push out some Viking DLC and see if we can get some more money. Like, it's weird. I don't know why it exists.
Okay.
That's bizarre. Yeah, that's okay.
They even they get like a special car that's like a Viking out. This is the car right here. It's like a dune buggy type deal. I don't know. It's really strange.
I don't know what to think
free?
of this at all.
No, I think it's paid. I will confirm here to see what the price is. Let's see.
€4.
Oh, there you go.
Accurate?
Yeah, the bundle includes.
Someone chat's like $90.
$90. Oh my gosh.
Bundle includes the different outfits, two-handed axes, 2 one-handed swords, 2 shields, and then the buggy skin. So, for €4 is what chat was saying. I don't know if I could find. They don't have the price in the YouTube info. So, yeah, it just screams like, hey, we need more money. Like we're bleeding money right now for the project for Dying Light 2. So let's see what we can do with this. Yeah, that was a weird thing. That was a full trailer that I've seen twice now, and I regret. What else is going on? That Nintendo. Go ahead.
Just real quick, since we were talking about BlizzCon earlier, I put it in the Slack.
Okay.
But the Metallica, did you see that?
Oh yeah,
Metallica live performance.
Yeah,
we saw a bit of it.
That was fucking hilarious to me. Not because they did it. I understand. Obviously, they have to do it, but the music choice they used, just you couldn't plan it any better. It's so good.
What is that? The overlay music like that they use to block out the DLC stuff? Yeah, I don't understand. It's
Dude,
crazy.
That whole thing was just bizarre. For so many different reasons. The Metallica being the one that was like playing the DMCA music that had music playing over it on Twitch. So the other interesting aspect of that was the YouTube feed. The Twitch feed, I think, was the YouTube feed being pushed by Twitch, which they were playing music over on Twitch itself. Because I was watching, and I was not supposed to do this, I was watching the YouTube feed, which was also a minute and 30 seconds-ish ahead. So there was delay on the Twitch feed, and they also were playing the music over there to protect the people that were restreaming it from that channel. Because they even did, like, in the pre-show, with like 10 minutes to the start of the show, they had Hoder come out and like do a DJ set. And it was just him like DJing his music and just like, bobbing his head to no one. It was just an empty room with him playing music, but they were allowing him to play his music there. So I don't know like why that wasn't protected, or maybe it's hard to like DMCA a mix like that. I'm not sure. But
by the way, we see it, chat. We see it. Yeah, it looks like Schreier is calling it. It looks like Anthem has been officially put down.
Oh, I did not see that. Yeah. But yeah, the DMCA stuff was hilarious to see. Yeah.
Wait, Anthem is gone?
Anthem's dead.
I mean, looks like, according to Schreier, who normally gets these right, to his credit, Anthem Next has been canceled. Sources tell Bloomberg the story will be hitting shortly.
Oh, wow.
Well, there you go. Well, they...
and Ibelian, Anthem might be the first game in history that died twice. Damn.
Wasn't that supposed to happen last week? Weren't they supposed to like make that decision? Or did that happen like this week? That's what we were all waiting for.
Oh, wait, does Bioware already have a blog out? In the spirit of transparency and closure, we wanted to share that we've made the difficult decision to stop our new development work on Anthem, aka Anthem Next. We will continue to keep Anthem live service running as it exists today. Yep, there you go.
There it is. Sorry, they have not tweeted it out yet.
Game development is hard. Decisions like these are not easy. Moving forward, we need to laser focus our efforts as a studio and strengthen the next Dragon Age and Mass Effect titles while continuing to provide quality updates to Star Wars: The Old Republic.
The Old Republic is still going? Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's cash cow for them, yeah.
That is so disheartening to have that all in the same sentence. Like, hey, we tried our best with this game. It failed. We tried a game. It failed. But we're going to, laser focus on working on some beloved franchises you love. It's like, that hurts a little bit. They already failed with Emmy Andromeda with the DLC plan, so it's just like, my lord, dude.
Yeah.
Man.
I don't know. To me, it's a little straight. Like if BioWare did make Anthem, do you think we'd be getting this amount of conversation over it? Like, is this only an event because BioWare made it?
Well, I think it's a big deal because it was a studio that a lot of people were hoping could make something awesome. So it's an issue of expectations. Like, people had inflated expectations because it was, supposedly something that this company was not only touting as something huge, but made a whole bunch of promises about. And then after it basically had a poor reception, made a whole bunch of a second round of promises about how they were going to fix it. And, they just kept on promising. And it was just one giant undeliver.
Yeah.
Under deliver. So
right.
yeah, I mean, I think this is the kind of thing where people are just going to be like, how can we be excited about any of your products? Like, it was like a, fool me once situation. And then, and now they're saying like, oh yeah, we're going to laser focus on this next stuff. Cool. Weren't you laser focused on Anthem?
Yeah.
It's obviously you were. You tried to revive it. Like,
yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Just not good. Not good.
Yep. Sorry, I'm just reading the takes from chat. It's a weird thing. It's especially weird for me because like the stuff that BioWare has shown the past 3 years has been like dev tours of different parts of their office with like a game that you really like or a franchise that you really like on their monitors. Like then like Mass Effect Remastered, I guess, was the other thing, or whatever they're calling that. This might be like we were talking about Blizzard earlier. This might be that fan base is Blizzard, and so maybe because I'm not super into the BioWare kind of ecosystem, I'm looking at it from a different lens. But yeah, it's not a good thing. All right, like this is probably a super hard thing for them to put out, regardless. But yeah,
I feel like the sort of like death of BioWare is something. Well, I mean, it's obvious it's not dead, but like I think people lost a lot of faith in them like a long time ago, right? Like Andromeda wasn't received very well. I never played
the ball on it.
Yeah, I never played. What was it, Dragon Age Inquisition, which I heard is actually pretty good. I never played it.
It's not bad.
Though.
Yeah, it's not Dragon Age 2. Is probably the one way to say.
Old Republic wasn't a WoW killer, so it's by default trash, I guess. Yeah, it's sad. Like BioWare used to make really good games back in the day. It felt like, same with like Blizzard, same with Bethesda, like all these companies that we loved that have just like not delivered up to standard more recently, I guess. It always sucks, right?
Yeah. That I'm floating the question in my mind now, like who is the like golden god when it comes to, or who are the golden gods when it comes to game devs right now for me?
Exactly what I was just gonna say, man. It brings to mind like who has not been like had a major like fuck up.
Larian Studios is doing great.
Larian's doing good.
Larian, yeah. I like Clay a lot. Clay, they do like Don't Starve and Oxygen Not Included, but they've been bought by Tencent, so I don't know. That
it may not be a big deal.
Yeah,
I have to say,
no, it might not be. Because Grinding Gears are in the same boat, right? Tencent majority own them, but they still pump out really good content for PoE and stuff. So it may be something and nothing, right?
Yeah.
Obsidian and In Exile are both doing pretty great things. Wasteland 3 was pretty awesome. Obsidian is doing some great stuff with Grounded, and hopefully we'll get a lot of Avowed information soon.
Yeah.
From Software has been kicking some ass. Hell, Capcom's been doing okay, except the last Resident Evil was arguably a little franchise farmy. But before that, I remember us on the show talking about how Capcom was doing pretty damn well with some of their most recent stuff. Ryuga Gotoku, talk about releasing consistent, awesome games. Ryuga Gotoku has been absolutely killing it with Yakuza 7, Judgment. We've got more from them on the horizon. Owlcat has been doing really well for those like CRPGs. Wrath of the Righteous, 4 months out, is better right now, and I'll say it, than Kingmaker was on release. Like this is a studio that is not only listening to the feedback, but they are dramatically improving their production cycles, and it is super nice. Coffee Stain, Satisfactory guys that are also publishing Valheim. I mean, talking about indie devs, dude, they're kicking ass. Iron Gate, the Valheim devs, obviously
is a great one.
4 million sold today in 3 weeks, dude.
Yeah, that's
they
crazy.
just posted a little bit ago that Nier Automata surpassed 5.5 million like this week.
Yeah.
And here is this little upstart indie dev. They're like, yeah, we passed 4 mil in 3 weeks. Now, granted, their game's a third of the price. Let's keep that in mind.
Okay.
But still, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah. So
I think for me, From Software is the holy grail. They haven't put out a bad game, and
people in chat are saying Rockstar have screwed over community with like Red Dead 2 stuff, but honestly, Rockstar, GTA 5 and Red Dead 2 are like really good games. Like, like some of the best I've played in recent years, I would say. So I still think that whatever they're working on next is probably going to be big and great, I would expect. But you never know, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I guess, Zeke, to answer the formed question we both had, they exist. I don't know if they exist to the degree of what like Blizzard once held in my head as being like the holy grail, the gods of gaming, whatever pedestal I put them on. But they're definitely good.
Supergiant.
Yeah.
Super
Hades
Giant.
They have
Hades. Oh yeah. Yeah, they
have
did really good with
consistently
Hades.
been releasing like really cool, innovative products from Bastion to Pyre to ADs and whatever they're going to do next. I mean, I can't wait to hear what their next announced game is going to be.
Yeah.
What, Battle State Games? Come on, guys. Tarkov? No.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
They're not doing
Tarkov's
bad.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
I wouldn't say that they're like.
I think in order to qualify for what I was thinking of, they would have to have released like a bunch of different games. Like, I don't think GGG would be like in the list because they have,
the
one thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's still good though.
Yeah.
Well,
I know.
to be fair though, like I think Sips has a great point with BSG because that's a dev team that has not only been doing great with their game, like consistent updates, completely plugged into their community, but they have nailed how to utilize Twitch to promote their products. Like talk about
god.
Oh man, dude! Like they are so
when they do drops.
About that.
It's exciting too. Like, man, whenever there's a drop event like that, I am all over it. Like, it's just great. You're playing the game, and all of a sudden, hey, look, I just got fuel for no reason. Like, I just was watching a streamer. It's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah,
love it.
It's super.
Also,
smart.
shout out to the Rust devs who were kind of like, oh shit, we need to get on this magic, and we have a whole drop system that's super popular. Everyone gets their own unique drop, so it encourages people to watch like specific streamers. Like
Rust is insane. It has been around for so long, and it still gets updated. Like, I don't know if you played Rust recently, but man, there's so much stuff in it that is actually really cool. It's just a shame that Rust is Rust. You know what I mean? Like, if you were to play
from a public perspective,
but if you were if you play it on a public server, it's awful. But like, like RP setting, or like if you're just playing with friends, and like the building tools are amazing. Like it's actually a really fun game. Like, and there's so much stuff in it now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Funny story. My dad is like upper 70s, right? His brother, even older than him. They play Rust 20 plus hours a week together.
Public server,
really?
FaceTime thing all the time. They play on a private server. Like here these two old guys like playing Rust. Every time a server wipe, they rebuild their whole thing. My dad's constantly telling me about Rust stuff. Like,
do they have those companion apps to like plan their honeycombs for their base and everything? Like, is it that detailed? Like,
no, I think it's totally social for them. So they'll like FaceTime. They'll face it. My dad said like he hasn't spent more time with his brother in like decades but now they have Rust, so they just like play together all the time and hang out and talk.
That's
and like
awesome.
it's so cool, dude. It's so cool.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can wait. I don't want to be 80, but I know I'm still going to be playing games when I'm 80. What are games going to be like when we're 80? Like, that's going to be nuts. I'm still going to play them all the time if I can.
It's going to be loud flashing lights and bangs, and it's like,
it's going to be crazy.
Going on?
No, I'm still going to be there, like trying it out.
Anime girls screaming at us in foreign languages.
Have you ever talked to like an old fucking rock and roller, like metalhead guy? Those guys, like, they can be pretty fucking cool. They're just like, yeah, I was there with ZZ Top, man. It's great. And they're just still sitting there, and they're like, hey, I don't headbang as much as I used to, but man, I still love these shows. Like that's what I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to be that dude.
Yeah.
Like the two old guys from the Alan Wake DLCs.
Yeah, there you go. You mentioned Take-Two. He was out there having a fun comment, an easy comment. The Take-Two CEO said that AAA games should be polished before release. The full quote is a little lengthy, but I'll read it because why not? It's fun. He said, I think the case that you're alluding to reflects the fact that you're always better served to wait for perfection if you can create perfection. And all of our labels are seeking perfection, and we don't always succeed. Sometimes we fall short, but that's the goal. So yes, right, and it's great that Rockstar Games continue to put add-on content and additional content for Grand Theft Auto Online and Red Dead Online. But they put out material that they really believe that they're passionate about and that is of the highest quality possible. That means we're not on a weekly cadence, and we're not going to be. Wait, what? And we're not going to be, and that means we don't necessarily know the exact release date, but we do know, what we do know is that we will wait for it to be as close to perfect as anything can be. So, I feel like he's specifically talking about Rockstar there, because, like, Chad's pointing out some other games that take 2 months out that have had some issues.
The Red Dead 2 world is so great, though. Like, I think if the DLC was more sort of like catered towards me personally, specifically, and was a lot more like meandering and not so much like, you know, joining a public server and somebody lassoing me and bullying me for the 5 minutes that I play for.
Yeah.
I would be all over it. Like, I just want to go out there and do some hunting and fishing and stuff. I loved all that in the game. Give me like a trophy room where I can like show off all my big catches and stuff like that, and let me design my Wild West house or whatever. That's it. It's really as simple as that. Like, it doesn't need to be more than that for me. I'm sure I speak for maybe a dozen people out there as well, which, funnily enough, is about as many people as play Red Dead 2 online anyway. So, you know what I mean? Like, they got to sort it out, honestly.
They'll do something. They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
They'll figure out how to make more money on that game, without question.
Yeah.
What else? God, there's a lot of news. The Nintendo Direct stuff happened. There was not much in it. I gotta say, it was a 50-minute presentation, and like, it was not much. There was a Project Triangle strategy that came out from that, which looks like
that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, this was probably the best thing they showed. It was Final Fantasy, or not Final Fantasy Tactics, I should say, but that's 100% what this game is through and through. Looks really cool.
Nice.
They've got some different stuff going on with the elements on the ground and stuff like that. I think is this the one that has the demo is already out for this for Project Triangle Strategy. I think you can go download it right now. Yeah, demo available now. That's coming in 2022. There was a Bravely Default trailer they showed. They announced Splatoon 3. Sips, have you dabbled in the Splatoon before?
My son plays it. He's got a Switch and he plays it. So I didn't know that Splatoon 3 is coming out, but thank you for letting me know. I'll tell him tomorrow, and that'll be nice. He'll go crazy.
Okay, tell him the Eiffel Tower is turned upside down, and there's character customization, and he'll lose his shit, apparently.
He will lose his mind.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm trying to think if there's anything. They're remastering the worst Zelda, so that's the thing.
Wait,
and no,
which
Zeke,
one?
that's not Breath of the Wild. It's Skyward
Wind Waker?
Sword. No, Wind Waker's already remastered. Skyward Sword's being remastered with motion control and without motion control support. So
I played. I liked Breath of the Wild. I thought it was pretty good, actually. Like, well, I didn't finish it though. Is that like a
we shouldn't talk about it here, Sips.
No. Okay.
No.
Let's just say you're in the correct headspace, though. Is all I'll say.
Right.
Okay. You made the correct decision there.
We do a thing every year where we come up with like categories for the this of the year, and just biggest disappointment for me was Breath of the Wild, because I wanted to love it and I didn't. I never said it was a bad game, but it's definitely not something that I liked.
Right.
Was it Co that said it was a bad game, or did I just like take everything that you guys said and just like made you say it's a bad game?
No, that's the thing.
No, it became the JP hates games thing. Like, it's not true, but you hear what you want to hear kind of sometimes.
I get it. I understand.
Okay. I don't think Breath of the Wild is a bad game. I just think it's a super overhyped, and like it's an okay game at best.
Okay.
But I think people have a veneer of it being amazing because they're super Zelda fans, and I think that's okay, because I've done that to games as well. But I feel that Breath of the Wild, it's a hard okay.
Zelda's such a weird one for me because like I played, the original Zelda and I played Link and I played Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo when I was a kid. And, based on those three experiences, I thought, yeah, I'm a Zelda guy. Like I'm a big fan or whatever. And then becoming a teenager and then an adult and not consuming any Zelda material whatsoever, I guess there's been a lot of games since. So like my only recollection of Zelda is those three games, which were pretty good and I'm nostalgic over. But Skyward Sword and the Ocarina one and stuff, I don't know anything about those.
Ocarina of Time's pretty.
Is that the one where you just travel around on a horse a lot? Like I think I watched my brother play one time.
That's kind of every Zelda game, maybe.
He just was riding a horse constantly and nothing else. Though, like.
Epona, right?
Yeah, Epona, yeah.
So I like this that somebody just said in my chat. Breath of the Wild was a game that a lot of PC gamers had played before, but console people hadn't played those types of RPGs before.
Right.
So I think in a lot of ways that's pretty accurate because one of the reasons I was not blown away by Breath of the Wild much at all was because I did feel like, I'd done open world better. I've done a better combat system. The weapon durability system I absolutely loathe. Like everything I did in the game, I felt I'd done better in other games. So, and now granted, there are of course console open world games. It does seem sometimes like the on the PC we're just kind of more accustomed to them. I don't know if like I'm not a big console only gamer, so I can't really speak too much to it. But
no,
I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. We'd have to bring on like a console only person for that to really talk about it.
Yeah. I'm ignoring the conversation. Completely not. We've had the Zelda discussion there. I know where most.
Sorry, it's my fault. I should.
It is 100%. I shame on you.
Sorry about that.
Shame on you, Sips.
Well, I mean, it's a beloved franchise. Like I like this guy in my chat right now. Wrong. Breath of the Wild has the best exploration of any open world. It has the best. The best.
Oh God. I won't go that far.
The best, or they're not wrong.
But yeah.
So the thing that I just learned, I didn't care to watch the Nintendo Direct. I haven't picked up my Switch in so long, but
you didn't miss a single thing. But go ahead.
Things. There are a couple things that are Nintendo exclusive that I have to dust off the Switch for. One was Deadly Premonition 2 when that came out, which I don't want to talk about it. But No More Heroes. No More Heroes 3 got a release date, I guess, of August 27th. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited for that. I will definitely be playing that.
Yep, that was in there. That was one of the. I guess I forgot to. That whole thing was weird. The Nintendo thing was strange. I think everyone, because it had been like 500 days since the last time they did one, and the fact that they announced ahead of time that it was going to be 50 minutes long, everyone was like, "All right, guys, this is it. Like, we're gonna come out of here and we're just gonna be spraying Nintendo everywhere. It's gonna be the hypest fucking shit of all time." And then like the big announcement was Splatoon 3 and like a Skyward Sword remake. So we were just kind of like, all right, guys, the next one's going to be so good. It's going to be the biggest shit ever. So, yeah, it was.
This is going to blow your socks out your ass. Okay, hold on to your socks. Next time, your ass will be sockified. Don't worry.
Yeah. It was a little bit rough.
First, we have to put your socks in. We didn't
don't think too much about it, Cohh.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah. Zeke, your cam's frozen for some weird reason.
Oh, goody.
Adjust that.
Yeah, no. I got a notification that popped up that said, "Hey, Discord noticed you have a camera. You want us to use it right now, right fucking now?" And I went,
I'm just pretending that he's having a really long think about socks in his ass. Like that has just completely broken him. He's like,
it's accurate.
Really?
Yeah. There you go. Oh, now it's just okay. Yeah. Good luck with that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What else? I feel like this announcement was solely for CohhCarnage. When I saw this, I said, "Oh, Cohh got a shout out in the PlayStation thing. They're bringing Days Gone to the PC."
Yeah.
Which like the only person I know that enjoyed that game was Cohh. So
yeah,
Cohh, how excited
are you? There are a lot out there. Just saying. I think I'm one of the more vocal people. Oh, absolutely. Yes, there's a lot of people that like Days Gone. It's not just me. But no, Days Gone was a game where it really the experience. There's dozens of us. But I like that in chat. It was a game that was not only like pretty great on its own, but one of its biggest issues, no question, was that the fact that the PlayStation could not keep up. Like there were so many times, especially when riding around on the bike, when like frame rate would drop to a single digit, and you never got that high with it. I remember when I hooked up my PlayStation to my big TV when I first got it, I loaded up Days Gone, and dude, like just turning the camera on my character was one of the framiest experiences I've ever seen on console. So if they can actually get this on PC and make the port good and have it be something that like they really optimized well, and you can run this thing at like 144 and it's gorgeous, it is going to be great. Like, not only that, but I want to remind people that the end of Days Gone is super interesting and cool. Like, I really, really hope that this port does well and that maybe they like start continuing the franchise, because I was interested in Days Gone, and then I got to the end and I was like, where are you going with this? Like, okay, this like, okay, what do we do? Where are we going with this? You can't just stop here. So yeah, like I am very interested in seeing more Days Gone on PC, and then hopefully a continuation of the franchise at some point. Also, again, shout out to Sam Witwer. He nailed that role. Completely nailed the role in that. Really, really good job.
Yep.
I'm not familiar with Days Gone, but when you mentioned it, I thought I'd heard of this game, but it's not the same game I'm thinking about. There's a game, I don't even know if it's out yet, or maybe it's out yet, about you being a mailman, like a postal service. You drive around some sleepy town. It looks kind of nice. I can't remember what it's called, but I don't think it's Days Gone.
Death Stranding.
No, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the game, but it looks really good. Chat, help me, please. What is it? It's not Death Stranding 2. It's the one at the lake. Yeah, it's like a lakeside town where you have to go. You have to deliver.
No,
mail.
It's not Postal, chat. That is a different game.
Chat
that
saying Lake. Is Lake the name of it?
Is it just called
Fallout
Lake?
New Vegas?
Maybe it is just called Lake. I don't know.
Huh.
Sorry, it just reminded me that game is going to be a thing at some point.
Hey, I was born in that month and that year, right there.
Providence.
Days Gone it's a zombie game. It's basically a zombie game at heart, but it has Sam Witwer, who's like Star Killer from the old Star Wars games, if you remember him. Mm-hmm. He's done all sorts of other stuff too. You probably know him from a lot better, but it's actually pretty cool. Sips, if you haven't heard of it, I would definitely check it out on PC. If the port turns out to be cool and you like zombie games, like
I like zombie games.
Funny story though. I was about to quit the game after about 6 hours. Like I was literally like, I'm not feeling this game. I hate these characters. I'm not feeling this game. And chat was like, just play a little bit longer. Just keep on going. Just keep on going. Give it a few more hours. And I was like, fine, I'll give it a few more hours. And sure enough, I got hooked, finished it, and loved it. So
is it like story driven? Like is it like a Last of Us sort of thing? Like that?
It's more open world.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, it's kind of like a combination of like Last of Us style storyline, but kind of like a Far Cry gameplay loop, where it's kind of like you have a big sandboxy world to play in, but then there's definitely a main story that kind of goes through it. So
okay, that sounds interesting. Yeah, I'll check that out. I'll check out the port if it comes to PC and if it's any good.
Yep.
There are lots of caveats there. Maybe I'll.
And it releases on a Thursday between 2 and 4.
And it's got to be a full moon for me to play this.
That's true. Sips only plays zombie games on full moon. No one asks why. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. You know what you like.
No, that sounds interesting. Actually, I'll check it out. But yeah, sorry to derail you there as well.
No, that's the show. Welcome and Drop Frames. The other thing that came along with that announcement was that there is a state of play from Sony tomorrow. That is a new slate of game updates and deep dives coming this Thursday. I think they announced the Sony state of play. They said the show's clocking in at 30 minutes or so, give or take. Can't hear what you think. Did they announce any of the games? So deep dives for 10 games coming to PS4 and PS5, including new game announcements and updates on some of the third-party and indie titles you saw in last June's PS5 showcase. So,
aren't they having problems with supplying PS5s to people now because of chip shortages, because of like a Bitcoin and stuff?
Sounds correct to me. Yeah. Name a reason, and it's probably adding to why PS5s
it's always Bitcoin.
Bitcoin does ruin everything. Unless you have Bitcoin, and then it solves a lot of issues for you.
This is why I'm so against it, because I don't have any. I wish I had some.
No, I'm right there. I'm right there with you. They also announced new PSVR is coming for the PS5. New hardware, new everything. It'll be a single cord all that type of stuff. So it seems like VR is still going to be a priority for the PlayStation, which is cool to see. What else was there? Am I missing any big news that you guys know of? Because there was so much this past week. Chat, feel free to shout or say things as well at this point.
Outriders demo's out tomorrow.
Yep. We'll be doing, do you know when we're doing the sponsored stream?
I don't.
I don't either.
But yeah, we're still nailing down the time. My kid's birthday. Rowan turns 4 this weekend. Okay. So I'm hoping. Yeah, crazy man.
4.
I'm hoping we'll see if it's on that day, because if it is, I'll have to do it earlier. Sorry if that wakes you up early or something, but
no, that's what.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll put that down. I think they're planning they may be doing a big thing. Like, I really have zero clue. I've been told no details, but we have like a big coordination thing going on.
Yeah, we'll talk.
It's interesting though, because apparently it's at the tail end, because the demos have been out for what, 3 days at that point. So
well, having read through the bullet points for our said sponsor stream, I don't think the demo's being taken offline. I think the demo will always exist. It's not like a beta this time around. It's just a flat out demo. So I think you can always download it if you're curious. But yeah, we'll reconvene offline and then let you guys know when that's happening. What else is out there? Concerned Ape announced Stardew Valley, the board game.
Oh, why not? I saw this. Yeah.
Yeah. Did it look cool? I have not watched this little trailer he put out for it. Have you seen this, Sips?
For the board game? No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I saw some of this on Twitter though. People were talking about it on Twitter.
Good or bad?
Board game.
This is the board game right here. I don't know what this is.
It didn't strike me as bad. I was just like skimming through some of it. I mean, I don't think board games are ever really that poorly received, right? Like, they're normally, people are usually pretty excited.
Super popular these days.
Yeah.
So wait, is this fully announced and done, or is sorry to cut you off, Zeke, or is this going into a Kickstarter? Right. I guess maybe they'll say that. What were you going to say, Zeke?
If they're anything like me and it's something I enjoy, it's going to be I will buy the game. I will attempt to play it once. I'll get through half a game, and then I'll never ever pick it up again.
Accurate. Yeah. Oh, it's just available now.
It's available now.
Like the Dark Souls game I bought.
Yeah, we played that once in my.
I've got the Paradox. Speaking of Paradox, I know it's coming back to this, but they sent me a copy of the City Skylines board game, which I've never opened. I don't know if it's any good.
What how that one works? I know that was the thing.
It's in a pile of junk right behind me right now. I don't know how. Maybe I should open it at some point and see what it's like. Maybe
here's a question for you, Sips, while I scan the last bit of the news right before this break. What's the best thing you've ever been sent from a like PR kit or a game company in terms of, like, I guess I hate this word, but in terms of swag?
The best, bar none, the best thing I've ever been sent was the goodie bag for the Twitch ambassador program, because I was meant to be a Twitch ambassador at TwitchCon Amsterdam before it was canceled because of COVID. And the stuff they sent, I got like a Pope robe, a Switch, that like an Amazon Fire Stick HD, like with the Apple TV 4K. There was like $2,000 worth of stuff in there. It was insane. It was so good, and it's all stuff I use all the time. It's really good. It's the best. Yeah.
Okay.
The Pope robe is very, very comfy as well.
Is it the like shag purple robe?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like I think like a pimp cape. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so
I use that every morning.
We've got it's good. That's a good thing. Good stuff.
Every morning.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Would wear.
No, so that's good. I mean, like, I've been sent stuff and like, varying degrees, some good, some bad. Like, but that by far is like was just over the top, like super generous. Like, I was just super excited about everything that was in it. And I'm like 40 years old. It takes a lot to get me like excited about stuff, right?
It takes a lot to get you going.
I
understand.
There was lots of gadgets and stuff in there. It was awesome. It was really good.
Nice. I skipped over. There's a new Mario Golf in that Nintendo Direct, which might have been the one thing that I'm maybe most excited coming out of that. So we'll see. A game that came out recently. I don't know if this is your guys' bag, but have you guys heard of that game Nebuchadnezzar? It's basically
Nebuchadnezzar?
Pharaoh.
Yeah, remember that? Remember Pharaoh, the Impressions game? It's impossible to pronounce that word. Well, for me anyway. But I played it a bit. It's good. It's just like Pharaoh, but better. There's like a lot of quality of life stuff and whatever. Like if that's your thing, that came out. It's pretty good.
I had not seen that. Well,
Yeah.
I'll maybe look into.
It's not big news. It's like it's kind of like an indie developer working on like an old genre of game, but
Sure.
I'm just glad that people like those games enough to make one exist in 2021. It's kind of nice actually.
Yeah.
Nebu Jazz what? Yeah, exactly. Nebu something, but yeah, it's good. If you like those.
What else is there? Doom Eternal director said he's quote put a lot of thought into adding a female Slayer to the game, as I guess a main character, or I don't as the main character. I don't know what he didn't really go on to explain that. But that
Slayer is the main character, so that would be a replacement for it'd be Doom Girl instead of Doom Guy.
Cool, great, works for me. I'll play either one. I just give me more Doom at this point. I'm on board.
I can't wait to see the people freak out about that. That's gonna be hilarious.
Oh, it's Twitter is
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
It's it's that age old argument of keep the politics out of games. You just got to keep politics out of games, Co. That's all you got to do. Keep politics out of games. That's all you got to do. What else is there? I don't think that there's any more. We talked about the Outrider stuff, and tomorrow we'll talk about that next week. I think that's it. I think we're good. There was a lot of news that I probably missed. There was drama around apparently a Rainbow Six character being gay, and people were really upset about that on Twitter. So fuck you to those people.
People were upset people were upset that a Rainbow Six character was gay?
Yeah, that like
or
one of the
gay?
Operators. Yeah, it's a newly announced operator who apparently is gay, and they said, keep politics out of games.
The game's called Rainbow Six. There should be 5 more.
Wait! I thought one of them was gay already as well. Isn't one of the the default base pack operators gay as well? Or maybe I misunderstood that. I don't know. I just figured. Sure. Oh, okay.
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I just saw that there was some outrage about that on the Twitters. Ammunition had some fun takes on that. If you want to go read her Twitter on it. I think that's it. I think we're good on the news. Some of the other game announcement, like Curse of the Dead Gods, I know Co was playing, so we'll get his take on that. But what are you laughing at, Co?
I just got the funniest, there's these burly guys and voice comms. The tournament's coming up. Who are you gonna play? Oh, I'm gonna play this guy. I'm gonna play. Well, I was gonna play that guy, but I'm not gay, so I mean, is that okay? I do that. I don't.
Jesus.
What's to say about me? I don't know what to do. But I want to play him. Oh God!
No. It's all right. It's all right. You played the female operator before, right? And you're not female, so you can. I think you can do it.
Oh, Cletus,
you're all right.
Point. Oh, thank you. Okay, now just remember, boys, when I pick him, this is not me. Okay, this is not me. I just want to use this little robot that zooms around, zaps people in the butt. Wait, does that mean oh God, I'm
too real.
I love it.
I want to play some Siege again.
Yeah.
Man, it's been too long.
The redneck stereotype. I'm from the South. We're having fun with it. Calm down.
It's true.
I've never played it.
Siege is
You've
fun.
never played Siege? Oh, it's really good.
No.
It's really fun.
It's
Find a group of people to play with.
competitive games, man. Competitive games that I can't be competitive at. They're just no good. Like I tried Overwatch for a little bit. I liked Overwatch because it had like a role system. Like you had a tank, you had support, you have that kind of stuff. And I bet you have something like that, but you still got to be good at shooting for Rainbow Six. Whereas Overwatch, you didn't have to be good at shooting. You could just swing a hammer and hold a shield. It was fine.
I don't know. With Siege, you don't necessarily have to be. You just it's like everybody always says this about Siege, that like map knowledge is king, but it's true. Like you don't necessarily need to be good at shooting just to like camp an angle, right? Which is what you often end up doing.
Yeah, Zeke's
so
bugging out again.
Glitch in the Matrix.
No, Sips. I think Siege was fun for me until I was holding a corner and someone shot me through the wall, and I was like, oh,
That can happen, yeah.
And then I just alt
Yeah,
F4.
The worst,
yeah, no,
dude.
that's like my Valorant experience. Jeez.
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
We actually played Siege for months when it came out. We had like private servers, did private games, drinking Siege nights. Like that game is super, super cool. But unfortunately, just like many games, there gets a point when people just get too damn good at it.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because you just mentioned it. Like that guy, there's a very good chance that he was doing everything legitly, but he just knew that there might be somebody behind that wall. And he knew, like, okay, his head's going to be like right there. He probably didn't even have to take multiple shots. He was just like, his head's probably right there. Pink, just in case. Oh, cool, got a kill. And then he just keeps going with his thing. And you're just like, you just ruined my entire gameplay experience.
Yep.
But it gets to a point when people are so good at those games. I remember the last couple Siege games I played was just like, I felt like I didn't even know what I was doing. I felt like I was playing a different game than some of the people that were playing. And it's at this point, there's so many different operators and so many tricks, and the game has evolved so much over time. Like, Siege is a relatively complex game. There's not a lot of games that have full deformity in terms of like the walls and being able to shoot through them and stuff. And you like knowing the people that know the maps and people that don't. Again, two different games. It's a really cool experience. But yeah, you got to play with like that game is so much better if you play with like a group of friends and none of you really play it regularly. It's so much more entertaining.
Yeah. I mean, you could say that about a lot of games too, though, right? Like when any competitive game is kind of fun at first when there's no stakes involved. You know, like you don't care. You've never really played the game. You're not playing on the ladder. You're not really playing to win. You're just hanging out with your friends and stuff. But it's that pivot point where you're like, I want to win.
Yeah,
that's when the game becomes unfun, right? Like, and some games you just get there faster with. I feel like
it's very true. I've had that exact thing happen in so many different games for sure. So
yeah,
usually put them down right afterwards. We are due for a break. Zeke, what's going on?
Yeah, sorry, new PC. Like I moved all of my PCs down the line for this new gaming one, and I'm still figuring out because Logitech cameras. I mean, as durable and cheap as they are, and as good, like long lasting as they are, they have hiccups and stuff. So like you got to give them their own USB ports and like their own hubs and shit like that, so don't fight with other shit. So
with mine.
Yeah.
You restart the computer, all your settings are different. Like,
yeah.
I'm waiting.
Happens to us.
It's kind of funny because Elgato just tweeted out like, "Hey, guess what the next big product is?" And my initial instant reply was an affordable, good camera that will become the new standard in streaming. Like, we have been needing a new. This is a niche that hasn't been filled. Like, so many people use Logitech cameras. Because they're quick, they're easy, and there's like no alternative. There's none. And they still, in a lot of ways, are just garbage in terms of settings and holding settings and like all this stuff. Like somebody needs to step up and make a good, foolproof, like always holds its settings camera. I would switch in a heartbeat. My lord.
The C920 life. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, that's Terrycam.
That's Terrycam. There you go. C920. Yeah.
What I use for it, yeah.
It's a good one, turns out.
It's the best, yeah.
Let's take our break, come back, talk about all the games that we've been playing. We got about an hour left of the show. And then we'll wrap it up. So I've got Persona 5 Strikers. Sips probably talk some Valheim, see what else he's got going on. Co's been playing a bunch of different things. Zeke's had Indie Week. We got some games to talk about. So let's take our break. We'll come back with more Drop Frames right after this. We'll see you guys in about 5 minutes.
See ya.